When your identity shifts, your outer world begins to reflect the change that has taken place inside of you. The husband that you've been begging to change will either rise and transform, or he will step aside so the healed version of you can receive what aligns with her. But it begins with faith and trusting in the unseen, the spiritual laws God Himself established. When you surrender and trust in God, you invite Him to show you who you really are in Him, reveal His plans for healing your marriage, remove what blocks love, and build what lasts. When you cling to control, you delay what God is trying to release to you. And control is not love, it is rooted in fear. When you truly love yourself, your identity shifts. When your identity shifts, your frequency and your vibration change. For me, this means thinking higher, believing higher, and stepping into the highest version of myself. Because you begin to see yourself the way that God sees you. Jeremiah reminds us that I know the plans I have for you. God knows our innermost being and desires the absolute best for us, yet we often block ourselves from His best when we cling to the identity society has given us instead of embracing the one He has designed for us. Why is it important to believe who God says you are? Because God is love. If you want to experience the purest form of love, look no further than the Creator. His love is displayed everywhere, especially in nature. After experiencing a broken relationship, the first step to attracting love is to divorce yourself from your old, limiting identity, the one that says that you're not enough. You have to perform to be loved. You have to check your partner's phone to feel secure. You are unworthy of love. Instead, align with your true self. You are loved. You are worth more than you realize. You can set boundaries where necessary, not from a place of fear. You can rest when you are tired. You can enjoy life's luxuries and your own company. You are enough without needing validation from others. Compliments affirm what you already know about yourself. Criticism that does not edify you reflects them and not you. Some of you are exhausted because you've been carrying responsibility that were never yours, booking the counseling, fixing him emotionally, pushing for change, but nothing seems to change, trying to hold a marriage together all alone. Your husband won't change through your effort. He changes when you release him to God and begin your journey back to your identity. God already said, what is impossible with man is possible with Him. It's possible with God. He wants you to experience real love, emotional safety, support, protection, a husband who understands and cherishes you, a husband who healed from his own childhood traumas, a marriage rooted in grace and partnership. But there must be space for him to move. Right now, you may be the little girl clinging onto a torn teddy. What's familiar, even if it's broken? And God is gently asking you to release it because He has something far better than what you are holding on to. But He needs you to release it. You don't want your best. You need to want God's best for you. Because sometimes what we think is our best is rooted in insecurity and pain and wounds. And God gives good gifts to His children when you choose to trust in Him and not what you see. The how is His responsibility. Your responsibility is to believe who He says you are, to act from the new identity or the identity that you have come into agreement with, to walk in the faith that you have declared. Ask yourself, what does the loved version of me do in this moment? Not the abandoned girl, not the anxious wife, not the woman begging for attention. Just because you haven't seen it yet, it doesn't mean you don't carry the identity. When I embraced my truth, when I embraced this truth, everything in my life began to shift. I moved from surviving to fully thriving. Right before Christmas, I casually thought about upgrading my phone, even though mine was working perfectly fine. And a couple weeks later, without me even saying a word to anyone, my dad surprised me with a brand new iPhone 17. When I go outside, I have meaningful conversation with strangers, and this week I thought to myself, I really want to take my car to get cleaned inside and out. And today, I had a knock at my door from a random young boy asking if he could detail my car for $20. And he did an amazing job. This is what happens when you step out of survival mode and into receiving. When you align yourself with who God says you are, the things He has already prepared begin to locate you. You don't have to beg, you don't have to chase, you don't have to cry for blessings anymore. They show up because they were always yours, they were always mine. And that includes healed and restored marriages. That includes the healed version of you. God wants to partner with you to restore what has been broken, but He must heal your spirit, your mind, and your body first. Then your external world, your marriage, your communication, your connection will reflect what God has already repaired inside of you. This is how you co-create with Him the life that you deserve, rooted in love, peace, and protection, joy, and lacking nothing. What might have taken years can happen in just months, or even weeks. Because when you align with Christ, and the day comes where Christ comes knocking at your door ready to restore you, all you need to do is to touch His garment and you'll be instantly restored. Everything that you lost in the last season will be restored to you. Why? Because you worked on faith first. You allowed God to restore your identity, proving you can hold the good He has without self-sabotage. The key to manifesting love in a broken marriage is to allow God to heal you first, is to learn what real love, true love is, so that you can love better in your relationship.